more aggressive fighter.
I would like to see them rematch at some point.
What do the numbers say? The pay-per-view numbers are going to tell you if people want to see a rematch. Because if they came out and bought the fight, yeah, they'll get a rematch.
I'm not sure, bro.
Just when everyone thought Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach were heading for an inevitable rematch, Davis dropped a bombshell that left fans in shock. Their last bout ended in controversy when Tank took a knee, a moment that many believe should have been ruled a knockdown. The referee's decision not to penalize Davis enraged much of the boxing world, as it could have meant a victory for Roach. With the fight's dramatic conclusion, an immediate rematch seemed like the obvious next step, right? Well, Davis weighed in on the possibility, and his statement left fans both stunned and frustrated. Now, the big question looms. Will we ever see a Gervonta Davis versus Lamont Roach rematch? The boxing world was buzzing with anticipation when Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. squared off, expecting a high-octane showdown that would deliver thrills and solidify the winner's standing in the sport. The WBA super featherweight title bout, which had captivated audiences from the opening bell, ended in a contentious and hotly debated draw. Roach Jr.'s corner was quick to challenge the decision, believing their fighter had done more than enough to secure the victory. The frustration only mounted when they reviewed the fight and noticed what they claimed were crucial errors in the officiating, particularly in the 9th round.
Oh, and that right, but Davis took off some of the steam of the punch, but still, Roach leaned with right. He took a knee. He took a knee.
Convinced that justice had not been served, Roach's team promptly filed an appeal with the New York State Athletic Commission, hoping for a review that could potentially overturn the controversial draw. However, the commission acknowledged that an error had indeed been made, lending weight to Roach's claim that he had been wronged. Despite this admission, the NYSAC ultimately ruled that the draw would remain in place, stating that the referee's mistake, while unfortunate, was not enough to justify altering the official result of the fight.
All 12 rounds.
I thought Roach won the fight. I thought even without the knockdown, I thought he won.
This decision left Lamont Roach visibly frustrated and disillusioned with the outcome, feeling that the opportunity to claim a career-defining win had been unjustly taken from him. Speaking to the media in the days following the ruling, Roach expressed his disappointment, but he was also clear about what he wanted next: a rematch. He made it clear that a second fight was the only way to remove any doubt about who the rightful champion is.
Really like boxing.
Are you open to immediate rematch?
In my contract, immediate rematch was signed. I signed for the immediate rematch when I signed for the first fight.
Right.
The controversial draw between Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. has ignited calls for a highly anticipated rematch in 2025. Before his last bout, Davis had hinted at an early retirement at the age of 30, leaving many to wonder if his illustrious career might be winding down. However, following the draw with Roach, Davis has since changed his tune, announcing that he plans to fight like 4 more times before hanging up his gloves. One of those fights is widely expected to be a rematch with Roach, and both camps are hoping it will happen without the prolonged gaps in Davis's schedule that have marked recent years.
Yeah, it definitely changed my plans. It definitely changed my plans. I probably got like 4 more fights now. For sure.
Despite Davis's history of long layoffs between fights, he has proven that he is more than capable of handling quick turnarounds when necessary. A prime example of this was his impressive 2023 campaign, where he faced and defeated Hector Luis Garcia on January 7th and then took on the highly touted Ryan Garcia on April 22nd, securing stoppage victories in both contests. Davis's ability to maintain peak form with minimal recovery time makes the possibility of a rematch with Roach in the near future all the more likely, as fans eagerly await another electrifying clash.
Gervonta Tank Davis escaped Barclays Center on Saturday night with a majority draw against Lamont Roach.
Watching the fight, watching the punch, I think he's surprising. I think he's surprising with the punch, and he hit him in the wrong spot, the wrong place, and they caught him by surprise, and they called him to go down.
Regardless, when you take a knee, if you go back and look at when Floyd Mayweather fought Cruz, I think what was it, 2001, and he hit him on the button and he hurt his hand and he took a knee and they started the 10 count. Yeah, you can't take a knee.
You know, boxing is about
The first fight between Davis and Roach, which headlined a Premier Boxing Champions Prime Video pay-per-view event, was expected to be a dominant display by Davis, especially given the 16-1 odds favoring him. However, Roach Jr. defied the odds and delivered a performance that exceeded all expectations. While Davis landed some of his hardest punches, Roach absorbed the damage and continued to press the action, showing grit, determination, and a level of skill that few predicted. Davis, for all his experience and power, struggled to make the necessary adjustments as Roach pushed him to the limit.
up on the scorecard. The styles make fights, and Lamont Roach's style made that fight what it is. And he made no mistakes, too, all night.
Tank hit him with a couple of good shots, but Roach didn't move. Tank would catch him, he would counter him right back. Hey, that jab, he kept him up off him. He didn't back down. And you know normally Tank starts slow.
Judge Eric Marlinsky scored the bout 115-113 in favor of Davis, but the other two judges, Glenn Feldman and Steve Weisfeld, both saw the fight as an even 114-114, resulting in a majority draw. This decision sparked intense debate in the boxing community, with many feeling that Roach had done enough to earn the win. Regardless, the outcome has only served to heighten the demand for a rematch, with fans clamoring for a definitive result that removes any lingering doubts.
Claus, how long we taking?
It's up to the A side and when they want to fight. So I'm thinking it's gonna be soon. I'm hoping it's gonna be soon. Let's say that.
What is soon to you? When you say soon to me, I'm thinking a month.
I'm thinking July.
Interest in a second bout between Davis and Roach has now far exceeded the anticipation for their original fight, which had already performed well at the Gate in Brooklyn. The rematch feels not only inevitable but also essential for both fighters' legacies.
Rumors are swirling that Gervonta Davis could be back in the ring around June to rematch Lamont Roach. Hopefully there's some truth to that, because Tank needs to redeem himself immediately.
For Davis in particular, the stakes are high. If a second fight with Roach doesn't materialize, it could leave a lasting blemish on his career, one that could overshadow even the past claims that he has ducked other opponents. While Davis has faced criticism before for avoiding certain challengers, this controversy unfolded in front of the world in real time, with no ambiguity about the need for a rematch.
You got to learn from the first fight. You got to learn from the first fight, and you got to bring something different. But at the same time, you still got to be careful. That goes for both sides. You can't pick a winner. The fight was too good. You can't pick a winner. I see where Lamont neutralized Tank, and I see where Tank neutralized Lamont. Somebody gotta go even further. This might be one of them Jones, man. We might see 3 of these. No bullshit. We might see 3 of these Jones.
But as the saying goes, it takes 2 to tango. Lamont Roach is more than eager to get back in the ring with Tank for a rematch, going as far as stating that he has already signed the contract and is ready to go. However, the response from Davis, a Baltimore native and boxing superstar, doesn't echo that same enthusiasm. When asked about the possibility of an immediate rematch with Roach, Tank appeared indifferent. His response, far from what fans were hoping for, was a casual, "I'm not sure," followed by him admitting that he didn't know whether a rematch with Lamont Roach should even be the next fight on his calendar.
I'm not sure, bro. I'm definitely not sure, but hopefully we could get it before. Nah, it probably won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
This nonchalant attitude has only fueled the frustration of fight fans, leaving them angered for several reasons. One major reason for the fans' agitation is that their first bout ended in a draw, with no clear winner emerging. The desire to see one fighter decisively claim victory has only grown since the final bell rang. People want clarity, and the inconclusive result left many feeling robbed of a proper conclusion to the highly anticipated matchup. However, what's perhaps even more upsetting than the draw is the controversy surrounding the fight's outcome. During the match, there was a moment where Tank Davis appeared to take a knee, an action that went unpenalized by the referee. Many argue that if the referee had issued the appropriate penalty, it could have led to Davis losing the fight altogether. Fans and analysts alike believe that this oversight tilted the scales in Davis's favor, turning what could have been a defeat into a stalemate. Given these circumstances, many believe that Davis should be the one pushing for a rematch to set the record straight and prove any doubters wrong. His apparent dismissal of a second bout with Roach only adds to the disappointment of those hoping for a definitive resolution. Despite his lukewarm response, Davis did attempt to clarify his position on the potential rematch. He stated that while he isn't entirely ruling out the idea of facing Roach again, he doesn't foresee it happening in 2025. According to Davis, he already has other plans in place for his next fight. And unfortunately for Roach and his supporters, that does not seem to include him.
Hopefully we could get it before. It'll probably.
Davis's comments suggest that although the door to a rematch isn't fully closed, Roach is not part of his immediate plans. Further expanding on his comments, Tank explained that the decision of whom he fights next isn't solely in his hands. While he may personally want to face Lamont Roach again, the final call is up to his team and the matchmakers behind the scenes. Davis made it clear that while a rematch is not off the table entirely, it won't be happening in the immediate future. Though fans can hold out hope for 2026 or beyond.
It won't be this year.
Is that the one you want next?
It's definitely the one I want next, but it's not gonna be next.
What is?
You might see it in a minute.
This lack of urgency from Davis has left fans questioning whether or not they'll ever see these two step into the ring again. With Lamont Roach already signed up and eager to prove himself, it seems the ball is in Davis's court. But only time will tell if this highly anticipated rematch will ever come to fruition. But what about you, fight fans? Do you believe Gervonta Davis is ducking Lamont Roach? How do you think a potential rematch would go? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this.